Welcome back to the show. I'm Gard Swanson. Well, back to school is a very busy time for families, but it's also a very important time to check out children's health, especially their backs. To learn more, I chatted with Dr. Michelle Welborn with Shriners Children's Portland. Dr. Welborn, thank you so much for joining us today.
So nice to be here. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Hey, before we get going and get really deep into this, what actually is scoliosis?
Sure, I think that's actually a common misconception. So scoliosis is a curve of the spine that's more than 10 degrees. Anything less than that is actually normal asymmetry. Just like my right and left eyebrow aren't the exact same, sometimes our spine can be a little asymmetric too.
And I know they're not screening children as everybody's going back to school. Why is it important to get screening for young kids especially?
Yeah, so scoliosis typically gets worse when we're growing, especially when we're growing quickly. So those kids that are kind of just starting to go into puberty are the ones where it really can take off, and sometimes we can see big changes over a short period of time. And up here in the Pacific Northwest, it's sweater weather all winter long, and so sometimes a curve can develop when you don't even realize it just because of wearing big bulky clothes.
So, Doctor, tell us about this new app that you guys have and how that will help in the future.
Yeah, so especially for families where there's a history of scoliosis, and so the concern may be a little bit higher, there's this wonderful app that we developed a few years ago called Spine Screen. And so basically what it does is it turns your own phone into a scoliosis detector.
Wow.
Yeah. So you can just run it down your child's back and you can see if they're starting to develop a curve.
And then and that app will pick up, well, your back's maybe two to the right or two to the left. And then if you find something like that and it's out of whack, what do you do next?
So that's the best part about it, is that scoliosis is something that the bigger the curve is, the more likely it is to get worse. But early on, there's so many different types of interventions. So one of the things that we really are able to do at the Shriners Hospital in Portland is great wraparound care. And we make our own in-house orthotics, and so different kinds of bracing for scoliosis that can help to minimize that risk of progression.
What's the difference between like Shriners and maybe another general hospital?
Yeah, so I think the two biggest things are that wraparound care. So really trying to take into account all aspects of your child. It's not just the spine. We have to remember that there's their brain, their heart, their soul, all of those things. And all of this is wrapped up in the care that we provide. And then I think the other thing is really that commitment to being better. And we do that through research by trying to better understand why these things happen. And is there a way to prevent that or a way to treat it better? And I think we're just always looking to be better.
Yeah, I know you guys are always right at the top of the food chain with new innovations. Where can people get more information?
Sure. So there's a number of ways to do that, but the Shriners Hospital for Children website is a wonderful resource. And then also certainly just giving us a call, and we're happy to have you drop on by either for a telemedicine visit or seeing us in person.
Dr. Welborn, you guys are doing fantastic things, and a lot of it right here on the phone with the new app. We appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for having me today, and thank you for letting me share some of the awesome stuff that we're doing.